Ahoy friends! I'm Matt Fire with the State Historic Museum of Iowa, and today we're going overboard talking about Iowa's riverboats. Iowa has a long history with boats and river transportation. With two major rivers on either side of the state, the Mississippi and Missouri rivers, Iowa has relied on river traffic since before the area became a territory. Of the 27 National Historic Sites in Iowa, 4 are riverboats. A National Historic Site is a location where political, military, cultural, or some social history has been saved and preserved. The 4 boats are the George M. Verity, the Lone Star Steamer, Sergeant Williams Tugboat, and the William Black Dredge. The George M. Verity Riverboat was built in 1927 and originally set sail under the name of Samuel S. Thorpe. The boat's first voyage was called the Revival of River Traffic by the Daily Date newspaper in Keokuk, Iowa. For 13 years, it shipped items on the Mississippi River for the federal government. The Lone Star Steamer was built in Lyon, Iowa in 1868 and would be in service for over 99 years. On April 15, 1895, the Lone Star became the first boat to commercially tow in the Hennepin Canal, which is located between the Mississippi and Illinois rivers. Named after Sergeant Charles Floyd, the only death on the Lewis and Clark expedition, the Sergeant Floyd towboat was built in 1932 for the Army Corps of Engineers. The boat would remain in service until 1975. The boat was built in St. Louis, Missouri until 1983, when it was purchased by the Sioux City government. It was then turned into a museum. Built in 1934, the William M. Black Steam Dredge was originally used by the Army Corps of Engineers. It was used to clear the bottom of the Mississippi River of obstacles that would make river navigation more difficult. This ship is notable because it was among the last steam-powered dredges created and still use paddle wheels for propulsion. The materials needed for today's activity is super simple. A piece of paper and something to weigh your boat down later. We're using some loose change. The first step is to fold your paper in half lengthwise. And when you fold it lengthwise, press down to seal and then open back up again. Now, quick tip. We're using printer paper for our boat today, but try some other options. We have some construction paper here. Think about what's out there and try it out. Second step is to fold a piece of paper widthwise, so across this way. Fold it equally across and press down and keep it down. The third step is to make sure the fold of the paper is on top. So here's your open end, here's your folded end. You want this, the top facing away from you. The next step is to take the top corners and fold them into each other towards the center and press them down. So just like that. Next step is to take this little section here, see this little rectangle on the bottom, on the flap, you're gonna fold it up and press it firmly down, just like that on one side. Step 6, you're gonna take your folded piece of paper, flip it over, and you're gonna notice these 2 little flaps on the other side here. You're gonna fold those down and over and press them down. Next step, you're gonna take the flap on the bottom, fold it up over the edge there, and press down firmly. Next step is to fold over this little flap on the bottom, just like you did on the last side. Fold it up and press down firmly. So now you have a shape just like this. Next step, you're gonna pick up your piece of paper, put your thumbs inside here, pull it apart slowly and gently, and it's gonna form a diamond shape, just like that. Next step, you're gonna take your piece of paper as a diamond, and you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna start pulling it out just like this. Step 10, you're ready to sail. Continue adjusting and pulling it down, should look a boat shape, and this is your boat. Step 11 is to test your boat. So there's different options you can do. Fill up a sink, head outside, find some water, put your boat inside, see if it floats. Test even more by adding either change, pebbles, anything else to slowly weigh down your boat. Adults, while your historian is doing this activity, ask these questions to further spark learning. Why do you think people use rivers instead of railroads to transport things? Brainstorm reasons why river transportation was so important to Iowa. Why do you think early cities and towns in Iowa were built along rivers? We'd love to see your boat, so send us a photo or video of you testing them out to museum.education@iowa.gov.